Palapatia, and I'm your boy J Cal.
Sax, I gotta say, I think your AUM is positively correlated with the bags under your eyes.
If you mean it's getting bigger, you're correct.
I mean,
Yeah, they're heavy.
good lord,
They're heavy, dragging you down.
that's where you're hiding all that Solana in your fucking under your eyes. Jesus Christ.
You better clear that Solana position. What's your lockup? 24 months?
Fuck no, he's trying to sell it to me on text message.
Yeah, of course he is.
We're negotiating discounts,
I just had the founder on
Hey,
the
you're
pod.
fucking the whole thing up.
bro. You don't think
Ponzi
to,
scheme?
I'm hodling.
you think I buy
You're not
hundreds of
holding,
millions
you're
of dollars
clearing.
of anything without a discount? Everything is a discount.
Everything's discounted. You want to clear that position in an LLC?
Are you saying I got $1 billion of Solana?
No, bro, I'm saying I have one, but I brought it at a discount.
But you're holding, correct?
Ish.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, me too.
Wow.
There you have it, folks. I showed this video a couple of years ago, and you all know who that is. The three scam artists. Shamat Palapatia, the SPAC scam artist. You all know, all you kids out there, you fell for that fucking weasel. You dumbasses. You stupid fucking idiots. And all the YouTube fake investment gurus are pumping all these fucking SPACs. All SPACs are fucking scams. I've known that for 25 fucking years. That's a fact. And you guys fell for the shit. So many stupid fucking people. YouTube should be shut down. Nobody's telling the truth. Nobody's exposing all this fucking bullshit. Where's the detective CoffeeZilla? Hey, CoffeeZilla, why didn't you expose the SPACs? Because you're a fucking pinhead, useful idiot. That's what you are. An advertising hoe. Ad grifting hoe. Advertising for the scam artists. Oh, there's an opportunity for me to make money selling advertisements by pretending to expose scammers. Sounds like a good business plan. Because, of course, you got the dumbest people in the world as the YouTube audience. And they fall for everything. If it's fucking low-level, low IQ shit, the YouTube audience falls for it. And that's why, once again, folks, all the scammers in the world are on YouTube. Perfect audience. The dumbest fucking people in the world tune into YouTube. That's why it's filled with scammers. You got it? I mean, why didn't somebody expose this fucking shit? Right? Why didn't somebody, nobody, no, there's no sound. How's the sound? Sound check? Sound? No sound? Let me see here. It's got to be sound. I think there is sound. There's sound. I think you got to turn up your volume. Turn up your volume, sir. I think the sound is a little low for some strange reason. I don't know quite why. That's bizarre. Not quite sure what's going on there. Let me see here. Let me check the sound. Yeah, the sound is not too good, but it is working. Yeah, it is working. So today we're going to talk about several things here. One of the things, of course, is going to be David Sachs. David Sachs loves to kiss Elon Musk's ass. This guy is a pathetic fucking loser. David Sachs, you're a fucking loser. And I've noticed this a long time ago. All you got to do is go on fucking Twitter and watch David Sachs always clinging on to Elon Musk, kissing his fucking ass. Yeah, Elon. Yeah. one of those guys, right? And then, come to find out, I know why he's doing it now. Because he hasn't anything going on in his life. He's got a podcast. He's known as a podcaster. Fucking loser. Fucking loser. That's what you are, David. Of course, David Sachs is also in The Mob. You all know The Mob. Yeah, there's something wrong. Somebody reported low sound the other day as well. I'm gonna have to check. Not quite sure what it is because the music was fine. Let me take a look here. I'm not quite sure what it is. Is this better? Huh. I don't think it is, actually. Maybe it's a little better. A little better. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Hmm. It's probably this program. Let's see. Well, don't know what to say. Don't know what to say. So let's take a look here. And you all saw that video.
Papatita, and I'm your boy J Cal.
Sachs, I gotta say, I think your AUM is positively correlated with the bags under your eyes.
If you mean it's getting bigger, you're correct.
I mean,
Yeah, they're heavy.
good lord.
They're heavy, dragging you down.
That's where you're hiding all that Solana in your fucking under your eyes. Jesus.
You better clear that Solana position. What's your lockup? 24 months?
Fuck no, he's trying to sell it to me on text message.
Yeah, of course he is.
We're negotiating discounts.
I just had the founder on
Hey,
the
you're
pod.
fucking the whole thing up.
Bro, you don't think
Ponzi
to,
scheme?
I'm hodling.
you think I buy
You're not
hundreds of
holding,
millions
you're
of dollars
clearing.
of anything without a discount? Everything is a discount.
Everything's discounted. You want to clear that position in an LLC?
Are you saying I got $1 billion of Solana?
No, bro, I'm saying I have one, but I bought it at a discount.
But you're holding, correct?
Ish.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, me too.
Okay. There you have it, folks. There you have it. You heard that? The pump and dump scammers, the trio. Apparently, that's like the podcasting guys. They're fucking losers. Now, we're going to go over these guys, and we're also going to go over a whole slew of more scammers, more crackpots that Don the Con, has appointed, or is going to be appointing, I guess, to his scam house. And for those of you low IQ fucking idiots out there, no, I don't support Biden or Harris or anyone else. I just don't like fucking criminals. I just like someone who I can really vote for, who's not bought off by the banks and the corporations. You got it? That doesn't exist in America. You got it? That's why I don't vote. Only dummies vote. You dummies out there, you're supporting America's fraudulent political system. You got it? No, you don't. Let's take a look now. Before we begin with these fraudsters, scam artists, let's go ahead and talk about some things here. Start off United Health. Now, it's funny because I was doing, just before I did a webinar a few days ago, I saw this, and I saw, it was, this was right, I think it was early morning, early, let me think, yeah, early Wednesday morning when the news broke. And I saw this, and United Health stock was actually up after this was announced, the murder of Thompson. And I was thinking to myself, holy shit, that's terrible, man. Can you imagine the guy, you know, he gets killed and the stock goes up? That's a pretty bad fucking sign. But of course, the following day, the stock started to sell off when people went online, started to voice their criticisms of United Health, of the U.S. healthcare insurance system, which is a complete and utter fucking scam. Now, most of you probably don't know this. I am an expert in healthcare from many angles. I worked in venture capital, telemedicine, and healthcare IT, and I've worked on several projects many years ago, probably about around 20 years ago. I was working on healthcare IT and telemedicine, and that led to a book, me exposing America's healthcare fraud. Of course, that book was after I kind of gave people an initial glimpse in America's financial apocalypse, where I had a chapter on healthcare. So I know the whole system. The whole system is rotten to the fucking core, and of course, they don't want anyone to talk about that. But when that news came out that he was shot, I said to myself, it's probably from someone who got a denied claim, because I know how the industry works. And so far, I think that's apparently what's going on, right? So anyway, just wanted to mention that. America's healthcare is a complete it's a complete disaster. Let me just go ahead, and I am an authority on healthcare, no doubt about it. Um, Let me just go ahead and tell you guys the situation. I dispelled all the myths. You hear a lot of myths out there on U.S. healthcare, right? You hear, whoa, if it's not so good, why do all the rich people come to America to get operations, right? The problem with U.S. healthcare is this. First of all, U.S. healthcare is among the best, maybe the very best, when you're talking about advanced therapies, complex procedures, mainly newer procedures. When you're talking about ICU, ER care, when you're talking about the most advanced cancer therapies and treatments, when you're talking about triple bypass or quadruple bypass surgery, right? When you're talking about these types of things, America leads the world. And one reason why is because of their innovative and technological dominance. The problem is this. Guess what? Most people in the world don't ever need those advanced procedures, those advanced therapies, those advanced complex operations. They don't need them. And even when they do, that's toward the later stage of their life, right? Perhaps they needed the healthcare system for decades before that, but it wasn't accessible to them. So the point is that most Americans need access to and treatment for care for chronic disease. They need chronic disease management. That's what causes most of the problems, and most of the people uh, need the healthcare system for. You can imagine if you have asthma, if you have diabetes, if you have COPD, right? Many other diseases. You're going to need to access the healthcare system on a regular basis. The problem is that's where America fails. They fail in the management of chronic disease. It's inefficient, it's filled with errors, and it's very costly. That's the problem with U.S. healthcare, is it's very, very costly, because healthcare has become a business in America, which shouldn't even be that way. Government should run healthcare. That's fact. Of course, you're going to have all the libertarian nutcases. Oh, government can't do anything. I don't want the government involved. They're going to screw it up. Okay, leave the corporate fucking parasites to squeeze you dry. to empty your fucking bank account, right? So when it comes to U.S. healthcare, I know the deal, and you can't pin it on just the insurance industry. You can't pin it on just the pharmaceutical industry. You can't pin it on just the physicians or the HMOs. You can't pin it on the pharmacy benefit managers. You can't pin it on the legal system, right? It's everybody. It's all the players. It's the medical device companies. It's everybody. Everyone has their hands in the fucking healthcare pot. That's the problem. There's medical overutilization. There's many problems. Okay. So when it comes to the most advanced therapies, you want to be in the hands of the U.S. healthcare system. But most people don't face that. Okay. That's the issue that you're not going to hear anyone talk about. Now, I'll move on. So, this is funny. I saw this headline, and the other headline I saw was Trump appoints podcaster. They're calling him podcaster. That's what he fucking does. He's a podcaster. David Sachs is a fucking loser. You can tell him I said so. A total loser. I knew he was a loser the first time I saw the guy. You can tell by his behavior. He's an insecure, because he's insecure because he knows he can't provide any value. He's just a fucking parasite, and he's in the fucking mafia. Okay? Now I'm going to go through and show you that. It's quite simple. All you got to do is take a look at his profile. I mean, first of all, look at that face. Do you trust this guy? I see a total fucking weasel and parasite, similar to this fucking guy. What do you see? Look at this guy. Palapatia, the SPAC scammer, weasel, and parasite. These are the types of guys. You know what? They say looks are deceiving. Well, I can tell you this. From my perspective, from my experience, oftentimes looks are not fucking deceiving. I see two parasites here, two guys that'll do anything they can, no matter what, to climb the ladder. They don't give a shit. They're money-worshipping scumbags. Let's take a look here. So this Jason Calacanis is the other guy, I believe. Yeah, he was the other guy in that video you saw of the Three Stooges. Him, Palapatia, and Sachs joking about how they're pumping and dumping this fucking crypto. That's right, folks. I am the only person in the world that exposed several years ago the fact that all these venture capitalists are involved in cryptocurrencies because they're fucking everybody. They're able to basically legally do pump and dumps without any type of regulation at all. Wall Street is behind crypto. Some of you are starting to see that now. You see how Wall Street's getting more involved explicitly? They've been involved for many years. Wall Street runs the crypto industry. They're making money off your ass. You think you're making money in crypto? You fucking idiot. You're making fucking nothing compared to what they're making. Okay? I wish that was Mark Cuban. Have a few words for Dr. Frankenstein. So, take a look here. Take a look. And you know, Sachs has appointed this crypto czar, an AI czar, whatever that means, right? And because he's from South Africa, like Elon Musk, his little South African buddy, boy. And take a look. So let's take a look at his pedigree here. You tell me if this makes sense, okay? Sachs was born to a Jewish family. Oh, I'm surprised. Just like Elon Musk, by the way. And so they immigrated to Tennessee, United States, with his family when he was 5. Though Sachs did not know what he wanted to be, he wanted to become an entrepreneur. He did not want to work a profession like his father, who was an endocrinologist. Yeah, because probably an endocrinologist takes a lot of hard work and study and devotion, and you're actually providing value. So he took inspiration from his grandfather, who started a candy factory, right? Entrepreneur, a money worshiper. That's what he wanted to be. Now take a look. This is very interesting here. I want you to take a close look at this. Sachs attended Memphis University in Memphis, Tennessee. He earned a Bachelor of Arts in Economics from Stanford University. Take a look. He attended Memphis, okay? No graduation, I suppose. Then he went to Stanford. Interesting. How does one go from a tier 3 fucking school, Memphis University? I mean, do I need to tell you about Memphis University? Right? It's a shit show. How does one go from Memphis University to Stanford? Of course, Stanford is one of America's largest crime factories. You know, crime factory? They produce a bunch of criminals, right? You can just go through the list, do some research, and you'll see Elizabeth Holmes, go down the list. Many, many, many criminals. And then, of course, he gets his law degree from University of Chicago. So apparently Sachs had some connections to get him from a tier 3 fucking school, which it doesn't get much lower than tier 3. Maybe you have tier 4. And he gets into Stanford, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know. And you know what I'm saying, right? So then he got a job at a management consulting firm, McKinsey. Management consulting is basically a scam industry. And take a look. To join Max Levchin, Peter Thiel, Luke Nozick. Okay, so these guys, I don't think they just met on the street. He apparently was involved with these guys. Then they went and they started PayPal, this and that, whatever. And so after PayPal, after his PayPal stint, right, he went into Hollywood. Interesting. I mean, how would he be able to produce a film, right? You see, and why would he do that? Like, I mean, if he's a valuable executive versus basically, just doing nothing at PayPal, right? Think about it. Why aren't you going on to do something relevant? You should be in demand. People want to hire you now because the fact is that David Sachs was a useless fucking clown. Okay? And he was working at PayPal with this little tribe of boys who got him a job. That's kind of the reality from what I see. And so 2006, founded some stupid site. Okay, great. More garbage. It's done nothing, basically. I mean, which is kind of shocking. When you are in the mob, I mean, you have all types of opportunities. Didn't seem like he took too much advantage of it, right? But, he didn't do too well in the Hollywood business, which is almost impossible to fail if you are, if you come from the right type of family. So what do you do then? Well, he gave his try at kind of a Wall Street, right? That's another industry where it's virtually impossible to fail if you're from the right family. Well, so I mean, because think of it, he's got all his little buddies. They're going to send him money, including some country which I will not name, which is known to launder money throughout the world. So you can imagine how he got the funds there. So interesting, okay? And so he's basically done nothing. And now Trump has named him to lead the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. Think about that a second. You got a guy who has an economics degree, and he's the president to lead the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. Honestly, I wish Donald Trump had lost the election, seeing the fucking crackpots he's put into his administration, or he's trying to put there. I wish he would have lost the election. This is like an Alex Jones dream team of fucking lunatics and crackpots. And we've seen now how Elon Musk, as I predicted, I made a video, folks. I showed you all the video, and I predicted that Elon Musk would get what he wanted through Trump. Of course, that was before Elon Musk have been exposed to throw all that money in Trump's campaign. Now we know Musk threw in at least $250 million into Trump's campaign. So think about this for a second to highlight, to emphasize just how stupid Americans are, just how utterly fucking stupid they are. Not only did they, for the first time ever, form a mob of thousands of people to stampede Capitol Hill on January 6th, right? What was it, 2021? Is that when it was, 2021? And they did so because Alex Jones, the career fraudster, bold-faced lying scumbag and con man, money-worshipping loser, and Tucker Carlson, another fucking loser and liar and poser, and Donald Trump, Don the Con. Those three and others came out and said that the election was stolen. They told the American people it was stolen from Donald Trump. So all these lackeys, all these cult members that are too stupid to see what the hell's going on. And once again, remember, I don't like Biden. I don't like Harris. I don't vote. It's all a scam. They're all crooks. They're all working for the same fucking team. Open your eyes. They went and stormed the White House or the Capitol Hill. Thousands of rioters. Why? Because they felt their democracy was going down the drain. They felt the election was stolen. Right? That was the whole narrative. Now think about this. Here we see every single day, more and more people are seeing how Elon Musk bought the U.S. presidency. He's purchased the U.S. presidency, as I predicted. Right? Donald Trump is already going to lower the hurdles for full self-driving, which, of course, Elon Musk and his company have already been responsible for at least 20 homicides, 20 deaths because of Elon Musk's false fucking claims. Is Elon Musk going to face jail time? No. He just gets richer. In fact, folks, you think that investors don't know what the fuck is going on? Why do you think? Do you know that since November 6th, Tesla stock is up 47 fucking percent? Because people see what's going on. They know now that Elon Musk is going to get anything he wants for his fucking companies. Elon Musk has bought the presidency. That's a complete and irrefutable example of the collapse of U.S. democracy. Yet, is anybody out there organizing to storm Capitol Hill? No, nobody. That's how stupid Americans are. How fucking utterly stupid. Think about it. Think about it for a second. You had a conspiracy which was unproven that the election was fraudulent. Yet they convinced thousands of people that it was. And these people went and they stormed Capitol Hill because they wanted to make sure the votes were counted or whatever they were doing. I don't know what they were. They wanted to stop the approval process. They wanted to make sure America's democracy wasn't overturned. Yet, we don't know what really happened. But what we do know is that Elon Musk, without a doubt, has bought the presidency. Because you see, he can never be president. He's bought the presidency. And now you're seeing a bunch of fucking crackpots be appointed to the Trump administration, largely due to the influence of Elon Musk and his circle jerk, and as well as Peter Thiel, which of course put J.D. Vance, a fucking nobody loser, there with Trump. This is disgusting to me. Disgusting. It should be disgusting for anybody that fucking supports Trump. But no, they're a bunch of fucking lackeys. You can't tell them, oh no, well, no, you don't understand. Of course, I've already talked about Dr. Oz. Look at this guy. Do you trust this guy? Look at the face. You tell me. He looks a little bit too much like Andrew Left, the fucking stock manipulator that I basically exposed. That motherfucker's gonna be in jail because of me, because I fucking tuned the SEC. I don't know if you guys heard the video. I've got the evidence. I've got the emails. I reported that motherfucker a long time ago and told the SEC fucking idiots exactly what he was doing. And of course, he's going to pardon everybody involved in the January 6th Capitol riot. I think that they should actually remove this presidential pardon option. Just fucking get rid of it. You see too much abuse, too much bullshit. Joe Biden pardoned his fucking criminal son. Of course, Donald Trump pardoned a bunch of fucking criminals, including Steve Bannon, including his son-in-law's father, Kirshner's dad, right? They should just remove the fucking pardon. It's being abused. It's ridiculous. Of course, Elon Musk is with this Rathaswamy guy. Elon Musk doesn't have the face of a swindler. He's a lot of things, but he doesn't look like a swindler. Elon Musk kind of looks like I don't know, he could transition to a she, right? He kind of has that look. You tell me, Ramaswamy. Sorry, I don't trust anybody with the last name that ends with Swami. But you tell me this guy doesn't look like a fucking con artist, a scammer. Of course he is. And I called this guy out a long time ago. He's also like this Palapatia. He's a rainbow chaser. He'll do anything for power and money. Completely untrustworthy. Complete scumbag. And it's funny because this guy jumped aboard the anti-woke bandwagon, right? He criticizes wokeness. But wait a second, dude. Like, you're Indian. That you don't fit in that thing. That whole narrative's not for you. The whole anti-woke movement is for white Caucasian people because they're the ones being attacked. But you see, you want to sing the praises of the white Caucasian people who feel that the wokeism is attacking them because you want their support. Because you're a fraud. You're a scammer. You got it, folks? You understand? So you can look at this guy. It's quite interesting, actually. And if you look at what he's done, it's clear to me the guy is a scam artist. He's a fucking scammer. No doubt about it. Take a look at this. In 2011, Ramaswamy was awarded a postgraduate fellowship by the Paul and Daisy Soros Fellowships for New Americans. Paul Soros is George Soros' older brother, by the way. So, this, what's the connection there? What's going on? You understand? Got it? There's obviously something going on there. I would call him a plant. You know what a plant is, right? It's kind of like when you want to position somebody, they're, controlled opposition, kind of like Barack Obama, right? He was kind of planted there. And of course, Obama was groomed for many years, and they would use him if and when needed. And Obama, of course, was put into the presidency. You know why? Because think about when he won the election. When was it? Well, we were facing a fucking financial crisis, were we not? Guess who was taking the brunt of the pain? It was the black American people. They were the ones that were suffering the most from that financial crisis. That's why they all supported Obama, and they thought Obama was going to help them. And Obama turned his back on them, by the way. Let me remind you all, Obama was elected as a way to make sure that there weren't riots, in my opinion, by the black masses. You see, he appeased them. That's why he won, I believe. Okay. But take a look now, Mr. Ramaswamy. You can see here, of course, he's already in. He's in with the right people. And so he's going now to the Ivy League schools. And take a look here. Was buddies with J.D. Vance. And of course, that J.D. Vance, makes him into Peter Thiel circle jerk, right? Take a look at this. It's very interesting here. In 2023 interview, Ramaswamy said he was a member of the campus Jewish Intellectual Discussion Society, Shabtai, while a law student. Interesting. Oh, take a look at this one. This is very rare. I've never seen this before. Wikipedia is a fraudulent digital publication, of course. You pay editors and they'll put a profile for you. Most of these people do that. Read this. In 2023, Ramaswamy paid an editor to remove this from his Wikipedia entry. So he did not want this particular sentence in his Wikipedia entry. Why not? Why not, Ramaswamy? Why didn't you want, you were awarded a postgraduate fellowship by Mr. Soros. Why would you not want the world to see that? Wow, you're accomplished, right? You guys see what's going on? Right? You see what's going on? Right? I don't get it. Are non-Jewish people allowed in this Jewish society? I don't get it. He's not Jewish, is he? Now, of course, there are Jewish individuals in India, in terms of the religion, by the way, and ethnicity. You all know that, by the way, right? You all do know that. Interesting. Let's take a look at this society. Shabtai is a global Jewish leadership society based at Yale University. Interesting. Global Jewish Leadership Society. So, folks, I think it's pretty obvious there to conclude that Mr. Ramaswamy is Jewish, which might explain why, some of the other things you can read in his bio. Okay, interesting. Okay, great. By the way, J.D. Vance is also Jewish, in case you didn't know that. Interesting. And so here's another part of his bio here. So Ramaswamy worked at the hedge fund QVT Financial, and I'm sure you know how he got his job there. This is very interesting. He, in the fund, had stakes in Martin Shkreli's Retrofin. Now, you all remember this guy, this rascal, Martin Shkreli, a money-worshipping parasite who is related to many of the parasites, right? And so think about this for a second, right? Ramaswamy was advocating for Shkreli. Why? Because Ramaswamy was doing the same damn thing, trying to get patents on drugs, right, to exploit the drug, to jack up the price. This is the man who is involved in cutting departments in America. Okay, so think about it. You've got this guy, this scam artist, right, who is in the grasp, in the hands, molded by Soros and the establishment, right? He's in the circle jerk with Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance, so on and so forth. He is involved in determining what needs to be cut from the government, along with Elon Musk, who has everything he has today because of taxpayer money, by the way. Think about that for a second. Now you know why I would like Donald Trump to have not won the election. Okay, in fact, I was thinking the other day, I wish the guy that grazed his ear actually maybe pointed a few inches, to the middle, to the center. We'd be better off. We don't need gangster fucking criminals running the country. Not only is Trump a gangster criminal, that's bad enough, but now he's appointed a bunch of fucking sleazy, money-worshipping scam artists. That's what they are, folks. Think about it. Look at all these people he's appointed. Every single one is a money-worshipping fucking sellout scam artist. They're all got the Wall Street mentality. Do you want that as the cabinet in the White House? Holy shit, we are in trouble. Go through and just read this. Okay? I mean, he got his money basically through charades, through fucking charades. Pump and dump. Just go and read it yourself. He's a fucking scammer. That's what he is. Complete piece of shit. I mean, folks, I don't know how people don't see this. It's just obvious. Look at this. Where is this? So, in early 2022, together with his high school friend, Anson Freerichs, which, interesting last name, wink fucking wink. You know, seems like all these guys are connected. Take a look. American business executive. He worked for Anheuser-Busch and was president of Anheuser-Busch and distribution. I wonder how he got to that position. Must be some type of privilege. You understand, guys? So they co-founded Strive Asset Management. Okay. I mean, this guy, think about it. Ramaswamy wants to tell everybody how wealthy he is. He wants to raise capital. Dude, why are you asking for everyone else's money? Why don't you put your own money in your fucking scams, boy? And of course, he gets money. Folks, this is how it works. Take a look. Look who he got money from. Boom, boom, and boom. What's the thing these three guys have in common? Besides being money worshippers. You got it? Wink, motherfucking wink. And you all remember Bill Ackman, of course. Bill Ackman was not only the guy behind harassing, threatening Harvard students to not protest the brutal genocide of Palestinian people by Israel, right? He threatened they would never get a job. But I just came across this the other day by accident. Perhaps you all know this. I wasn't going to talk about it, but apparently Barry Steinlight, the CEO of Starwood Capital, private equity firm, he initiated a WhatsApp group to call for certain people. In fact, I was going to show the article because it was, I may talk about it another time. All these so-called billionaires, including Bill Ackman, many others, right? And they all are related, by the way. And their whole purpose was to see how they can stifle any protest in America for the war between Israel and Hamas, or Palestine, really is what it is. You understand? It's been written about. You can take a look into it. You all understand what's going on in these countries, and I say these countries, the Western countries, by the way. Do you really understand? Take a close fucking look and see why these things are happening. Why the borders were open, who opened them, and why did they do it? And now you have, as a control mechanism, of course, they control everything. They control the opposition. You'll have people that are opposed to open borders. And guess what? They're related to the same people who open them. You know why? They want to control the entire narrative, everything. Financial crisis occurs. See who did it. Who's got all the answers? Who's at the discussion table? Take a look. You understand what I'm saying? Controlling the narrative, always controlling all the options, controlling all the discourse, controlling the entire monetary system and all the options, whether it's fiat currency, cryptocurrency, precious metals. You understand? This is a big problem. So think about this for a second. Ramaswamy opens his fund, and it's a big wedding. It looks like a big wedding to me. You got it? And so Strive has branded itself as anti-woke. Okay, so what you have here is Ramaswamy basically tries to capitalize on the anti-woke movement. Oh, I've got a fund here. It's anti-woke. You invest in it. You understand? A complete piece of shit. Folks, if there's not money involved, he's not going to do anything. This is a guy who is a opportunist. You understand? I hate these people because they basically will pitch any line for money. And they'll turn a 180 in a heartbeat if the money runs out and the money goes to the other side. You understand? These types of people are dangerous, scumbag pieces of trash. And so here he has a book called Woke Inc. Once again, does anybody bother to ask the question, wait a second here, what's a guy who's, well, let's call him Indian, but now we know from reading the Wikipedia profile that, you know, his ethnicity is Indian and maybe something else. We certainly know that he's in a group of related individuals, but the point is that he's not white. The woke movement is specifically targeting white people. That's the base. That's the core. It's other things as well, obviously, but the core is white people. Basically saying whites are evil, right? So what's a guy here who's not white writing a book against the woke movement? Because he's an opportunist scumbag. He wants to get support and money, just like Palapatia did the same fucking thing, coming out and telling you how evil Facebook was. Oh, Facebook's evil. We used to work there. Okay, if it's evil, you worked there for 10 years. Why did it take you 10 years to realize they're evil? You're just a fucking liar. Give the money back, bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Palapatia did all that fucking bullshit. Why? Because he wanted to lure in the dipshit dummies. So they'd buy his SPACs. They'd invest in his SPACs. You know, SPACs, scams that can't meet the due diligence of Wall Street and institutional investors, so they dump it off on the fucking dummies, the same dipshits that think Kathy Wood has a fucking clue, the same dipshits that go to YouTube for investment advice. Folks, what did I tell you guys about libertarians? They're all the scammers are libertarians. Okay? All of them. They all have this stupid libertarian fucking scam mindset. It's a very pathological mindset. And of course, we can't forget Mr. Ramaswamy, the flip-flop guy. He'll flip-flop anytime as long as there's money involved. Remember, this is a guy who's now sharing a position with Elon Musk, or going to be if he's approved. Hopefully he won't be. And same guy who called Elon Musk a circus clown. That's right. Remember this?
Vivek Ramaswamy, the man who is teaming up with Elon Musk to slim down the federal government. Well, he has a history of trashing Musk, calling him a circus monkey for China who kisses the ring of Xi Jinping. Of course, that's a very different tune than the Vivek Ramaswamy we heard today, who went out of his way to publicly praise Musk after K-Files reporting came out.
I don't understand why people are so fucking stupid that they don't call these people out. You cannot support people like this. They're going to fuck you. You understand? It's obvious. These are very dishonest people that Trump is appointing to his cabinet. Complete money-worshipping fucking scammers, liars, and frauds that will do and say anything. These are worse than politicians that he's appointed. Worse.
I have never worked with somebody who I feel more challenged by in being surrounded by. I mean, he is somebody who's able to think outside of the box, outside of the matrix in a way that I haven't actually seen before. I've learned a lot from working with him. It is not surprising to me, having worked with him, that he's created some of the greatest manufacturing companies that America has ever seen.
So that was today, and K-Files' Andrew Kaczynski joins me now. So, Andrew, obviously that was, after you had posted online some of your reporting here. What did you find?
Yeah, so we found that he has an extremely long history of attacking Elon Musk as a puppet, as subservient to the Chinese Communist Party.
Of course, Elon Musk is subservient to the Chinese Communist Party. That's where his company's growth is going to come from. I mean, think about this for a second. Think about this. How come no one's talking about this? Elon Musk gets a pass on everything. Elon Musk is responsible for the deaths of 20 people through his bogus, full self-driving horseshit, which he made false claims about. Lex Fridman is also responsible. Lex Fridman, the fucking podcasting, cloud-chasing, scam artist loser who I've already exposed, airhead idiot, who I think lacks academic credentials, which he claims he has. This fucking scam artist promoted self-driving, published bullshit papers that were not peer-reviewed, that were frauds, and he did that to get in Elon Musk's good graces, so he'd be on his podcast. Folks, we got a big fucking problem here.
And look, with a lot of our stories, it's like we uncovered something that somebody said 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. He made all of these comments within the past 2 years, many of them within the last year. And what did he say? Well, he accused Elon Musk of shaping his views, his political decisions, his business decisions, all to be subservient to China, to get tax breaks in China. He particularly singled out comments that Elon Musk had made about Taiwan, in which he suggested that Taiwan could become part of China. And VBAC basically suggested that Elon had made those comments to get tax breaks in China. He said that Elon's businesses like Tesla relying so much on China was a threat, sort of compromised American values. He even suggested in a tweet that I want people to look at here, he even suggested that his stewardship of Twitter could be insecure. In this tweet here where he says, now the crusader for free speech, he tags him at Elon Musk, kisses the ring of the world's biggest censor, Xi Jinping, and he also
in quotes with free speech.
In quotes for free speech, obviously referencing his ownership of Twitter. And then in another tweet, he said we don't need U.S. leaders who are in quote China's pocket. That's what he said about Elon Musk. And if you think those tweets are bad, I want people to listen to here to some of those comments that he made about him.
You have no reason to think of Elon. Don't jump like a circus monkey when Xi Jinping calls in the hour of need.
Elon Musk has, I think, demonstrated his willingness to change his political tunes based on the favors that he gets to be able to do business in China. I do think it is a kinship that Tim Cook and Elon Musk probably have, is that they both bend the knee to the true overlord, which is Xi Jinping.
I mean, how is this guy any different than Musk? You understand, folks? It's the same. They're the same people. They're money-worshipping liars and frauds. They're scumbags. They're not to be trusted for anything. I mean, this is just, it's remarkable. This is what I'm talking about. Donald Trump has appointed the Alex Jones dream team of crackpots, scammers, liars, and frauds to his cabinet.
And the thing about these comments, Aaron, that I think makes them so hard for him to walk back, besides the fact that he was saying this stuff last year, is these are sort of fair criticisms that many people have had about American companies. I mean, you're the business reporter. You probably know this a lot better than I do. But these are sort of fair criticisms about American companies that are doing business in China. And it's, I think, sort of also raises the question of here you do have somebody who, like he said in some of those interviews that we reviewed, who's so intertwined with the government contracts, government subsidies, working with the government, to now have that person in charge of cutting the government spending and government subsidies raises sort of conflict of interest questions.
Well, certainly if this is somebody that you said is bending the knee to the true overlord, which is Xi Jinping, and to your point, saying this in recent months, this isn't old. This isn't, oh, I've changed my view. I mean, it'd be hard.
You know, folks, it doesn't matter who you support. Everyone should be held to a reasonable standard of honesty. And any Trump supporters who aren't calling this out, they're just fucking idiots. And unfortunately, this is the world we live in today, is people are members of fucking cults. There's cult leaders and cult members. That's the way it works. And people just don't challenge things. How Elon Musk will get approved for this position, if Elon Musk gets approved for this position, you're talking about the official end of democracy in America. Write that down. If Elon Musk is appointed to anything in Trump's administration or any other administration, you're talking about the official end of the democratic process in America. It's over. It's over. But guess what? Elon Musk and his circle jerk of frauds, Joe Rogan, Lex Fridman, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, you can go on fucking Twitter and you'll see it all. They've got everybody convinced that they're going to save everything. They're going to come in and save everything. Just like Elon Musk, his typical scam. He wants to warn you about the evil AI, but he's gonna fix it for you. He's gonna make sure it's good for you. Honestly, these people are fucking horseshit. They're scumbags. Something really bad needs to happen to them. They are very evil. They are criminals. I didn't know this. I just ran across it recently. Apparently, one of Elon Musk's, one of his kids had a sex change or something like that. And, you know, it's funny because Musk is always talking about, he's trying to justify his irresponsibility. Oh, you should have a lot of kids. Come out and have a lot of kids. Yes, make kids. Yeah, well, Elon, I think it's most important for people, if they have kids, to make sure and raise the kids. He's got like 12 fucking kids, three failed marriages or something like that. He's got kids all over the place. He's not raising his fucking kids. If you're not going to raise your kids, don't fucking have them, okay? You irresponsible twit. You're a loser, dude. And then we get to, of course, his criminal pay package. And, you know, Elon Musk has got his cult members convinced he doesn't care about money. And he's crying that he doesn't get this bullshit $100 billion pay package that was manipulated. He manipulated everybody. I mean, this is a man who belongs in jail. He's responsible. He's got the blood of 20 people on his hands. There was full self-driving scam that was marketed as a lie, as confessed by one of the senior engineers at Tesla. Elon was behind it all. Think about that. He deserves nothing but fucking prison. And then we have Musk wants to delete the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is responsible for making sure that financial firms don't scam the public. Take a look here. Recent cases. Google payments under supervision now from the same agency that Elon Musk wants to get rid of. Think about that. The same agency Elon Musk wants to get rid of is suing Comerica Bank over failing disabled and older Americans, taking advantage of them. Just read it. Think about that. You've got psychopaths in Washington, soon to be. I mean, right now, you know, honestly, those of you out there who voted for Trump because you say that he, you know, it's better than Biden. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. Or Harris. I can't imagine Harris bringing in a bigger group of absolute frauds and liars and scammers and money worshipers. There's no way that would have happened. And now you're seeing who's going in to Trump's administration. This is very fucking worrisome. It's troublesome. It's a disaster. You're talking about the complete collapse, the permanent collapse of democracy in America. And once again, I've never voted Democrat in my life. They're all scammers. I don't vote. I voted one time for Ross Perot. That was it. That was the only choice I've ever seen. Okay. what do we have here? Yeah, so Boeing, if its problems weren't bad enough, Boeing now wants to make sure to have DEI staff involved in the plea deal with the DOJ. So, if you all, I've been following the Boeing case, and so what's going on basically is that Boeing, let's not forget, is responsible for the deaths of more than 450 people around, let's say, those two flights, right, several years ago. And specifically, I think that Muhlenberg, the CEO at the time, should be in jail, should be rotting in a fucking prison. But the whole deal was basically, if Boeing cleaned up their act, the company wouldn't be held for the criminal actions. And so apparently the judge has said, okay, these provisions you all have breached because you have DEI involved. Take a look and read it for yourself. I mean, think about it for a second. You've got Boeing that's supposed to clean up its act, and they want to include a DEI hiring policy, staffing policy, to help make sure, that's the criteria involved, partially, to make sure that Boeing doesn't kill any more people. Excuse me, I think we need to make sure people are fucking qualified, so your plane doesn't fucking collapse and crash because, oh, well, you happen to have hired someone for diversity purposes and equity and inclusion. So the judge fortunately rejected their criminal fraud plea deal until they get rid of their DEI bullshit. Can you believe this shit? The problem, though, folks, is that this is the type of thing that fuels people to vote for Donald Trump. And what do you have? Folks, they don't care about any of this stuff. All Trump and his fucking circle jerk of scammers care about is making money off your ass. They're going to say and do anything they can as long as it results in money from you, whether it's directly or through your tax dollars. And I think I've proven that by showing you these scumbags, Ramaswamy, Palapatiya, right, and others. Let's take a look at Jeff Bezos now. Bezos wants to be judged by how rich he's made others. Oh, he's winking. Who are you winking at, Jeff? Right? Who are you winking at, Jeff? So think about that for a second. He wants to be judged by how rich he's made others. I've created something like $2.1 trillion of wealth for other people. Oh, really? How about let's judge you based upon how many jobs you've destroyed through anti-competitive practices at Amazon that's been going on for fucking a long time. How about that, Jeff? How about that one? So let's read what this. So Jeff Bezos is tired of people judging him solely by his ranking among the world's billionaires. And let's not forget Jeff Bezos has profited handsomely from taxpayer funds as well. You all do know that, right? You all do know that. Let me explain something to everybody out there. I've said this before. Nobody in the world should have more than $1 billion, and $1 billion is even too much. Why? You've got people out there. How are they making their money? Let's look at Jeff Bezos. How did Jeff Bezos make his money? Well, he made money off the backs of other people, and those people many of which were educated in America. Think about this for a second. How many of those people that helped Jeff Bezos create Amazon were educated through taxpayer funds? Right? How many of those people? You understand. Jeff Bezos built Amazon off the backs of Americans, American human resources. And those American human resources were educated by, to some degree, a variable degree, by taxpayer dollars. You understand? That's just one argument right there. There's many, many arguments that prove capitalism is out of control, it's become a fucking scam, and it's in crisis. And as I said before, Wall Street, the stock market has destroyed capitalism. That's fact. Now, of course, when you look at these billionaires, it becomes a relative situation. The question is, how much good has Jeff Bezos done for the world? Irrespective, he shouldn't have more than $1 billion. $1 billion's too much. If I were in charge of the show, there would be no billionaires, because they're making their money in the best of cases, in the best of scenarios, they're making their money off of resources that were created by, funded by taxpayers. Okay? That's fact. That's the best of scenarios. Then you have complete parasites. Think about the billionaires out there, folks. Many of them are from Wall Street. Parasites. They made money using other people's money. And they gamed the system. Okay? They gamed the system. Right? People say, well, Bill Ackman's a billionaire because he's a great fund manager. He wouldn't make all that money if he wasn't doing well for his clients. That's not true. That's not true. Folks, I just showed you guys examples. Take a look at John Hussman, his funds. John Hussman at one point was managing $6 or $8 billion. Okay, for several years. Think about the fees he collected. Right? The guy's a complete fucking failure and loser. I can list many of these people. So you all don't understand how it works. And how it works is basically this. If you're in the mafia, your mafioso buddies are going to send you money to manage. Because most of these hedge funds are getting money from pension plans. And there are pension managers. You got it? You understand? There's no oversight going on. Take a look at the private equity billionaires. You understand what I'm saying? So, if you compare Jeff Bezos to these guys, Jeff Bezos looks like a saint for sure. No doubt about it. But that doesn't change the fact that Jeff Bezos, number one, benefited from taxpayer subsidies to a large degree. Number two, built his company with the help of Americans who were educated through taxpayer dollars, right? Number three, who also worked in many anti-competitive, antitrust. He broke the law essentially to put other companies out of business in a way that the federal regulators still don't even understand, by the way. And I do. I've talked about it many years ago. Okay. There you have it, folks. Stop being discussed. Why do you think I was banned a long time ago? Remember, I'm the guy, you're hearing about all this trade stuff. I'm the guy that wrote about it 20 fucking years ago like nobody else in the world. Think about that. Okay? Watch the recent video. Watch today's video on Hussman. I believe at the end of that video, you're going to see the excerpts, some of the excerpts from my book that I wrote about trade, the national security threat posed by U.S.-China trade relations 20 fucking years ago. Ask yourself what type of insight, what type of person you're dealing with that's able to uncover all those things early on. The same book that it predicted the financial crisis, by the way. You understand? That's why I was banned, folks. And I continue to be banned today. Think about it. You get these idiots and jugheads and airheads are promoted. And you've got a leading thinker, a leading research expert, myself, with a proven track record of excellence, continues to be banned. You have a criminal mafia running our country. A complete criminal fucking mafia that runs all of the mechanisms, the levers of control. That's the problem. And none of these motherfuckers, they're all scared of me. None of them would ever go up on a neutral platform against me. Whether it's Elon Musk or any of these motherfuckers. They won't do it. They're scared shitless. Well, they're not scared. They'd be scared if I had exposure to pressure people, people to pressure them. But I don't exist, you see. No worry. That's the problem we face, folks. I've lived it. I understand what it is to be shut out. And I see the impact. You all understand. That's why it's critical for you all, if you really want to know what's going on, to get as familiar with me as possible and what I've written, what I've done. Then you're going to see what I've lived through, what I know what's going on. And nobody in the world is willing to put money up against the things that I have claimed. Let's do it. I'll prove it all. I'll prove it all. Just like I proved everything that I wrote about 20 years ago in advance. In fucking advance. Why do you think these fuckers won't come up against me? Go up against me. They won't do it. Why? Because they know they'll get defeated. See, they can fool the masses. But they can't hide the truth from someone who knows the truth. You see, that's the reality. I don't want you guys to go and question these motherfuckers. You tell them. You tell them what I said. Folks, it's so bad. The people are so Americans are the most brainwashed fucking people in the world. Yet they think they're the least. The media has them under control. They can't even think clearly. I'll remind you all of this. This is like the closing statement. And you all are going to, if you haven't heard me talk about this before, you're going to realize it for the first time. And you're going to say, holy shit, it's plain as day. Why did I never think of it? Why did no one ever talk about it? It's plain as day. How could I have missed it? Why was it not talked about? Let me take you back to 2017 when Trump began. He entered the White House his first term. He was focused on cutting taxes for the wealthy, for corporations. And of course, the whole propaganda back then was, oh, taxes are too high. I talked about this. No, actually, the taxes were very low because people were looking at the gross tax rate. They weren't looking at the effective tax rate, the actual rate that corporations pay. You got it? The following year, 2018, Trump focused on the trade issue. That's when he levied the tariffs against China, against many countries. Now, that trade campaign continued on to 2019. Why? Because it became a focus for the Trump administration for China to we don't care about you buying any oranges from us. What we care about, the focal point was China agreeing to not stealing intellectual property from corporate America, making sure there were certain conditions in place where China could no longer steal the intellectual property of U.S. corporations that were based in China. Do you all remember that? That was the center point of the so-called trade war. It became a matter of that, and that's why there was never any conclusion. There was never any agreement because China would not agree to those conditions, which would make sure that they wouldn't steal intellectual property. Okay, so think about it for a second. Trump promised to bring the jobs back. If he brought the jobs back, there would be no corporate facilities in China for China to steal the intellectual property. Right? All Trump has to do, and he could do it in many ways, he could create a tax system whereby U.S. companies would pay higher taxes if they were overseas. Just like George W. Bush actually, and I wrote about this in my book 20 years ago, actually passed a law to make it financially favorable for companies to actually go overseas. That's right. So Trump could do it if he wanted to. He could make sure there'd be no jobs overseas. All those jobs would come back to America like he promised. But guess what? He didn't care about that. He was focused on making sure China did not steal the intellectual property of U.S. corporations. Why? Because what he cared about was protection of corporate profits. He didn't care about bringing the jobs back. It was protecting corporate profits. It's quite simple. Donald, bring all the fucking jobs back, right? No more outsourcing, and China cannot steal the intellectual property of Apple, of Microsoft, of Nike, of Coca-Cola. Bring the fucking facilities back to America. Now, makes sense, right? How come nobody ever mentioned this, ever? I'm the only person that was talking about this for several years. You would imagine, you would think that the media, who hates Trump, according to Donald Trump, despite the fact that he made all his money in the media since the 80s, you would think the media and the Democrats would come out and say, Donald, you're lying, you're defrauding the public, you're not bringing the jobs back, you want to protect the intellectual property of corporate America because corporate America is going to keep the facilities in China. So you want to make sure they're protected. Why don't you bring the jobs back and you won't have to worry about the Chinese stealing the intellectual property? They didn't say that, did they? The media didn't say that. The Democrats never said that. You know why? Because they don't want to expose the plot. They don't want to expose the end game. You understand? They don't want Americans to realize both parties are working for corporate America. So they're only willing to come out so far and uncover things, and they don't want to uncover what's really going on. Everybody understand that? Ask yourself why you never heard that as a major talking point. Now, this time around, I think there will be some jobs coming back because Trump's not really running the show in terms of China so much. It's become a national security issue. So there will be some national security interests that will serve to bring certain jobs back that are seen as a national security threat. It's not going to be to help the American worker, though. I can assure you that. And one other thing is that, Trump ran his first term on a lot of lies and bullshit. One of the things he said, as you might recall, well, he said many things, but he was going to investigate Hillary. No, she's fine. They're buddies. Don't you know that? They're fucking buddies. He also talked about how our leaders are so stupid. They're so dumb. They got out-bargained. The leaders of Mexico and China and Europe, they're much smarter than our leaders. So he wants to tell you that he's a smart guy, and if he gets in office, he's going to negotiate much better deals. Folks, corporate America went to Washington. Washington got the trade deals that they wanted. They were intentional. You understand? They weren't outsmarted. These free trade deals were intentional. It was an intentional destruction and theft of working and middle class incomes and wealth. Why do you think these countries around the world are called developing? They're developing because of American assets, American jobs that were sent over there. You understand? No one's talking about this even today because they don't even have a fucking clue. Why don't you go to the developing world and see all the new money? Why don't you go? See all the fucking new money. And then come back to your country and see how it's fucking falling apart. We're talking about corporate America sending all the jobs to these countries. And all these consumers have a lot of money now. Those are jobs that were stolen. No one talks about this. And the greedy American consumer lined up. They don't care where the goods are from. They lined up to buy them, not realizing it would fuck them in the ass. Americans deserve what they get. They deserve it all. They deserve everything because this shit's been going on. The societal breakdown, the economic breakdown, it's been going on for decades. And they sat by and did nothing. They sat by with their fucking credit cards and ordered their meals and watched their sports and all their horse shit. And now the rest of the world is moving up. Americans are fucking stupid. They deserve their misery. They deserve their misery. That's it.